So I wanna read something to you. Maybe it'll get you in the right state of mind. So this is a blog. Most people associate failure with complete defeat. I know because I failed countless times over. In fact, at one point, you could have called me a professional failure. I was failing at everything: marriage, business, life in general. And I felt a sense of total and absolute defeat. But through those failures, I've learned some important lessons. In fact, before having to suffer through countless failures, one after another, I never realized the importance of failing. I also never realized how some of the most famous people to have ever lived have failed the most times.
This is podcast number 18.
18?
Yep.
What is up, guys? This is Rafael Velasco, a.k.a. Rafael the Realtor, sitting in with my co-host, the internet sensation, Mr. Ryan Reynolds. And today, it's just the two of us for podcast number 17, you said?
Number 18.
18, sorry. And this is a Friday night. It's 11:30 at night, and Ryan and I are just pretty much just testing these microphones, right? Why are we testing all these microphones? We have 2 regular podcast microphones, and we have 2 additional microphones with a backup system.
Well, for the very few people that watch our podcast, we've had a few guests on the show, and we've had a couple of major malfunctions, major issues with the audio. First time was with Shorty Torres. There was an issue with GarageBand. That wasn't fully my fault. There was an issue with the connection with the audio, and then we figured out what the problem was, and we said it would never happen again. And then we had another podcast, and that went well. And then Ken Nunez came on, and I didn't hit the record button.
You didn't hit the record button.
I was sitting there, and I was telling him about, the audio not being recorded on the last podcast. And I was like, yeah, that'll never happen again. Yeah. And I was setting everything up. The problem with that one is because I kept checking to make sure it was because the first issue was the microphones, only one microphone recorded. So I was trying to make sure that everyone's levels were good and all the microphones were recording. So I kept hitting record, deleting it, record. And then I went to the bathroom and I came back and we just started talking, and then we just rolled into the podcast and I didn't hit the record button. Now the issue with that is when we don't hit the record button, we didn't have any backup. So now, instead of having one backup, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 backups going right now. So if there is another issue, fire me.
Fire you?
Fire me from the audio position. Because that would just kind of be ridiculous.
Yeah. So I thought that we would start off by I guess talking about failure, right? Because I get down, man. It's not a good thing, right? You feel you kind of depressed. You're like, damn, it could have been better. Could have gone better. It didn't. We screwed up. How do we prevent it? Stuff like that.
Well, the first time, it was upsetting. I spent a lot of time trying to fix the audio and stuff like that, but I truly believe it wasn't my fault. I mean, it was my fault. It was my position, but I didn't know what was going on, and it was like a GarageBand issue, and I didn't know the setup. I didn't really know the setup. I just knew how to somewhat work it, and there was an issue. So I was like, whatever, it happened. I'll get it fixed the best I possibly can and move on from it. And I was cool. It was shitty because, it was the first time that we had a bad audio recording. But the second time, dude, it was so bad. I was in a rut.
Yeah.
For a solid week.
Really?
Yeah, because it was embarrassing.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I told myself and our podcast guest about it and said it would never happen again. Right. And as soon as we got done with, and it was a great podcast. It was an awesome podcast.
It was so good, yeah.
And as soon as, and like everyone was in a good mood and afterwards and stuff like that. And then as soon as we found out right away with Shorty's podcast, dude.
It took a little bit,
We were cool, dude. I went home. It was like 2:00 in the morning, dude. And you call me at like 2:30. You're like, dude, there's an issue with the freaking recording. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I kind of didn't know what the hell was going on until I like really found, I'm like, dude, only one mic recorded. And then, it was just embarrassing because I was like, I was telling everybody about the story.
Yeah.
And then it happens.
Yeah.
It happened again. And I'm just like, oh, dude. And like, you were like totally upset about it too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just embarrassing because it's like nothing failed. I just didn't hit the record button, dude. How bad is that?
It happens, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does happen because I after that I looked online to find out the best way to prevent that, or if it ever does happen, to try to find a setup. So if it does fail, we'd have something to rely on. And I guess a lot of people had the same issues. There were some YouTubers that had like, big interviews.
Yeah.
And they said that, audio failed or they didn't hit a record button, but they've had backup. So
yeah.
Hopefully this backup works. I don't know if it's the best possible backup, but the basement's tough. Your basement's tough, dude.
It is. So it's a big basement, and there's not much stuff in here. And actually, our TV just went out. We tried to start up the TV for the podcast. I've had this TV since I was at back at home. So I think I purchased this TV in 2005. And it's no longer working. So this is not going great, but we're going to try to make the most of it. People are not really interested in your audio, Ryan.
Well, you're the one who freaking started it off like that. Well, you wanted to do like a failure thing or whatever blog, so you go to the biggest failure, which is me.
No, you're not.
I'm not the failure, but I mean, that was a pretty big mistake.
It was, and I think it was two failures back to back, and I think it taught us something. I felt like, that quote that says, if fail fast.
Oh yeah, that was a great video that you sent me. That was that did get me out of it for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while.
No, I think I was good after that because I mean, what were we gonna do?
Yeah, that's exactly how you got to think about like when something goes wrong, right? Instead of like focusing in on the problem, which obviously I think you should focus in on the problem just to see if you can try to prevent it in the future.
Yeah, dude. But what fucked me up so much is that I understand that, the principle behind it, right? Like, okay, cool, because that's what I thought the first time.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, all right. The issue with the audio or whatever, I was like, okay, it's never going to happen again. And I'm glad that it happened so it didn't happen in the future. And then it happens again. And then it's like, now I'm like, holy shit, dude, what if it happens again? But looking back on it now, it's like, okay, well, if it does happen again, then what's the best possible way if it does happen to have the best audio? And I think it probably can be better, but I mean, for now and what we are doing, I think it's I think we're good, and I don't think that we'll have to go through that again.
Yeah, so we plan on having a lot more guests here, right? We're going to turn it up with the podcast. And we're doing a lot of stuff in 2020.
Yeah, we have a podcast in, I guess, a day, really.
Yeah.
We actually have I think it's middle of February right now. We have February scheduled. We have most of March scheduled out. So, and then we have more people that are looking to be on the podcast, but are not like scheduled in. But we have some good people coming on the podcast,
which is perfect, Ryan. Which means that we got all the screw ups out of the way, and from here forward, it's all going to be amazing.
I hope so.
We're gonna hope.
Yeah, we always It's always something.
It is always something.
But yeah, I mean, if it happens, it happens.
You win or you learn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a couple of quotes here in the basement, and one of the ones that I just thought about is the Michael Jordan, right? The continues to miss shots, lost games, trusted to shoot the game-winning shot 26 times, it's missed. And he says, I fail over and over again, and that's why I succeed. You got to take shots in order to... We're going to look like idiots again. It's just going to happen, but I think it just needs to happen, right?
Yeah.
If you're too scared to miss, you're never going to swing.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, like... You could sit there and I'm not gonna lie, like, like for a quick second, I'm like, the second time around, I'm like, fuck, am I not cut out for this, right?
Yeah.
Like,
start doubting yourself. Right?
Yeah, and it's like, I keep messing up, and it's like, well, what the fuck am I doing? Like, should I stop? Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna stop.
No, you can't stop.
I'm not gonna not hit the record button or. So it's like, whatever. If it happens again, then it happens again. But I don't think it's going to happen again.
No, I don't think it's going to happen again because now we're all paranoid about it. Now you know what's going to happen?
We're going to have the best audio.
We're going to have the best audio, and this is going to happen with the cameras or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll try to move forward and try to make the most of it. So 2020, Ryan, we posted a video here about... Chicago and how crappy it is, and taxes and politicians. Which Blagojevich is out. Did you hear that?
Trump got him out?
Trump got him out, dude.
Yeah, I saw that Trump said that the charges were too harsh.
Yeah. Well, he got
that was his boy.
Blagojevich was on The Apprentice. I didn't even know that.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he was on The Apprentice.
When?
I don't know.
Before?
Yeah, before he went to jail.
Like when he was in office or whatever?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, but he got him out.
Did he win?
I don't know. Not sure.
How did he get him out?
What do you mean, the president?
Well, okay, so did Trump have a role in Blagojevich getting out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he can be like, lift his sentence.
So like if me and you go to jail, we could just reach out to Trump.
Yeah.
We need to get him on the podcast.
You think so? Yeah.
I message him at every post he puts on Instagram. I tell him to jump. I was like, if you're trying to win in 2020, hop on our podcast. I get people to like add me on Insta for that.
Yeah, I don't think he's too worried about Chicago and winning Chicago.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can give you a get out of jail free card.
Like Monopoly?
Yeah. Because he's the president.
So, when did he get out?
Just a couple days ago. He's already all over the news.
Have you seen a recent picture of him?
Yeah, he looks like the same dude, only with white hair.
How long did he serve?
Like almost 10 years,
dude.
Oh
my God, dude.
Well, you think about failure, right? Do you think about the stuff that was going through that guy's head? Sitting, thousands of miles away from home. And he's got to spend all this time. He's got to do his time. From a pretty high, right? A pretty big high.
Yeah.
Being governor to being in jail. He still says that he didn't break any laws, but I like to disagree, Mr. Ex-Governor. I think you broke some laws, bruh. What do you think?
Yeah, he pleaded not guilty, right?
Yeah.
He did that whole speech. He's like, the people of Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was guilty, but he's out. But you know who is gonna go in though? Who's gonna take his spot?
Who?
Smollett.
Oh, dude, they reopened it, right?
Yeah, they're gonna go after that guy now.
How long you think? Because he's gonna serve time.
I hope he does.
Jesus,
you can't mess around like that, dude. You just can't. We have a country that's torn. And then you're initiating stuff, and it's false. It's just bad. It's bad. First, man, there ain't no goddamn Trump supporters in downtown Chicago in the middle of winter, man. Like, that's not gonna happen.
So wait, I just think that shit. I mean, like, okay, I get it. Like, he definitely committed a crime, right? Like, but I just think it's shitty. Like, they let him off.
Smollett?
Yeah. Right?
They tried to, but now it's coming back.
How can you do that? Now you're like fucking with the guy. Like, they dismissed the case, right?
Yeah, now they reopened it. They had a special prosecutor or something like that look into it.
Whatever.
Yeah, so he's we'll see what happens with that. I hope something happens, and we get justice. So speaking of Chicago, this video that we posted a couple. So what did you think, man? You know what's funny, guys, is my wife after she saw the video of our 20. What was the title of that video?
The greatest real estate news in 2020.
Yeah,
it was something like that.
Something like that. We tried our first acting, and it was pretty bad.
You think it was bad?
I mean, it wasn't great.
Everybody said it was great.
Right? I mean, the editing was pretty good. I thought the editing was good, and
I thought I looked great.
Yeah,
Dude,
you always think you look good.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of confidence there, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you have to have some confidence.
Well, check this out, man. Who is great at something from the very beginning? Hardly anybody.
Obviously not us.
Well, yeah, we're not very good at anything. In the very beginning.
This is what, our 18th?
Yeah, 18th.
How many is it going to take?
I mean, I'm pretty slow, so maybe
1,800?
At least 100.
At least 100?
At least 100.
When the hell are we going to get over 100 subscribers?
100.
We've been stuck at 91.
Guys, please
hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button. We really need your help. We were trying to get to the big 100 subscriber
Yeah, can we just
mark.
please get 9 more? Maybe 10 to get it over 100.
If you guys really care about us, you would call all your family members and tell them to subscribe to the Ralphie and Ryan show, because we're doing some big things in 2020. Big, huge.
You know what, Ralphie? You're telling the audience to hit the subscribe button, right?
Yeah.
The last 3 or maybe 2 episodes that I've uploaded on YouTube, I just recently went on there today, and there's only 1 like on there. And you know who the 1 like is?
What is it?
It's my like.
Oh.
So, where's your like? You're telling them to like it, and you don't even like our own videos.
I'm going to like all our videos.
I just literally told them that all of the likes are probably from me. And if there's like 10 of them, I took probably like all of my friends' phone, and then I sent it to my family members. So, you guys out there that I don't send them to, please hit the like button. Or if you don't like it, I don't care. It could have more dislikes. Just hit something. Start tapping the screen.
Yeah, start commenting too. Like, if you think we're crappy, just comment. These guys suck.
Well, some of the videos for some reason have like the comments turned off. I think it's because it says if the videos are made for kids.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. Some new regs that.
So if the video's made for kids, they probably think that kids just sit on there and talk shit in the comments box, maybe.
Yeah, I just think that if it's a kids video, they don't want adults and children to.
Interact with each other. Oh, right. That makes sense.
Yeah, because there's some pervs out there.
Yeah. So, damn. So the zoo, the pumpkin patch, those are all kid videos.
Yeah.
Well. So when it says it's not made for kids, though, kids could still watch it?
I don't think so. No, because I think there's probably settings that parents have on tablets and YouTube app to only allow their children to watch only children-approved videos.
Mm.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, there's a gray area there because, there's some pretty nasty channels out there that I think are child approved or for children that are not
whatever
videos.
It doesn't matter. Well, I think we should just put all of our, not like that anyone comments on it anyways.
Right. So what's going on for 2020? What are we doing in 2020? We got some huge plans once we figure out all this audio. We have some big plans for 2020.
Yeah. So what's going on in 2020? Well, 2020, since we dropped
it's a great year, by
the trailer that went viral. I think it made the box office, Ralphie.
Yeah, I think it had like 100 views, so we're pretty happy about that.
100 views is good for us, dude.
Yeah, it's really good.
It didn't have 100 views. It was in the thousands.
Was it?
Yeah. See, you don't even know how many views we have.
All right.
But, 2020, we're going to be more focused in on real estate content. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in 2020, but I think the number one thing that we're going to be focusing... I mean, right now we're kind of going back to the roots, man, right? Going back to the basics. The only reason we're going back to the basics is because for the many of you that don't know, we're with Keller Williams Real Estate. Keller Williams just dropped some new technology maybe about Wednesday. Today's Friday, so a couple days ago. And a little while ago, they also... not that you guys care or anything like that, but the websites swapped over and stuff like that, so we're getting a nice new website that's under construction, and we had to swap over all of our contacts and clients and our database and our notes and stuff like that, which there's like, what was there, like, 1,200 or something like that, that we have to go through manually and fix everything. So that's taken a little while or whatever, but it's going to better organize our workflow. And so the website's under construction. We're going to be putting blogs, real estate stuff, lifestyle stuff. We're going to start putting our vlogs on there. So that's the basics. What do they say? The meat and potatoes.
Yeah, we have a lot of different stuff that we're trying to juggle to try to push 2020 to be the greatest year possible. And in Keller Williams, I know we don't even talk about Keller Williams very much, but Keller Williams is really making a push to have a awesome system for our future clients where they're going to be able to do everything on the consumer app that just got released on Wednesday. For those of you guys that don't know, Keller Williams also has a mortgage and lending department or an extension with the company. And now we have this super consumer app that's been under construction since 2018, so it's 2 years. Long-awaited consumer app that is, I want to see it to believe it, but they say it's the Zillow killer.
What?
That's what they say.
The Zillow killer?
Hey, man,
oh, dude, those are some fighting words, man.
Gary, I believe in you. So I think he probably delivered. We'll see, right? But we're going to have to wait to see if this happens. But I hope, here's what I was thinking about today. I hope that it works because I think that the realtor is going to stick around if they provide just great value to the client. And I think people would rather work with somebody that they trust and they have a relationship with than some dude on Zillow that's trying to help you close on a home, in Seattle or whatever. Or
the only thing I see that Zillow has versus us is they have good content.
They have a lot.
They have good content, and it's so easy to use, dude.
It is.
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't like Zillow though.
But you like Redfin?
I like Redfin.
What's the difference?
I think
just because it's not Zillow?
No, I think for data, definitely Zillow. For their consumer app, Redfin.
Easy use?
Yeah, I think Zillow's consumer app is very easy to use.
Zillow's.
Redfins. Yeah.
Why? The only thing that I like using Redfin for is they display the property taxes easier. Like, it's harder to find property taxes on Zillow.
Okay.
So I'm sure I could see why. There's probably other shit on there that I can't find. Yeah. But yeah, just the information, which I think we need to focus on a lot, like locally.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that they, dude, you can call it a Zillow killer, but you ain't going to kill Zillow, bro.
It's going to be close to impossible.
It's going to be close to impossible. So the only thing you can do is just just give great local content.
Right.
So I think that's what we're going to focus on, right?
Yeah. So we have 2020 coming up, and then we have this website that hopefully should be up within the next.
It looks good,
couple of
man.
Weeks. Yeah.
You've been working hard on it.
I have been working hard. I've been learning a lot of new stuff about the internet and how to optimize websites and landing pages, and trying to incorporate all that into our CRM, and just a lot of stuff that people are not really interested in. But it is a lot of work. But I think 2020 is a great year, and I think Chicago's still sitting in a great spot. I think the real estate market overall is still doing very well. Interest rates are low. I don't think that any of that stuff is going to change. We have an election year, so yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think 2020, I hope, is going to be the best year, of our real estate career. If it doesn't happen, it's all right, because just like this podcast, how we messed up the audio, you hope for the best and prepare for the worst, right? And that's how I think you got to look at life in general, because shit happens. It's just the way it is. And I think one of the things that I am better at, and it has come with time and maturity primarily, is being able to get over shit quicker and trying to look past the fog, even just the emotion of when something bad happens. Because I think that this is me included, right? I think most people get caught up in I see this because you get caught up in the problem because it's very emotional, right? When all this shit happens. But the quicker you figure out how to get past that and actually look at like solutions, prevention, right? And then solutions, better it is. It's a time to grow. It's pretty much what it is. I'm almost happy about this. So we've had to switch CRMs. We've had to go through contacts. So I've asked Ryan to go through every single one of his contacts on his phone. And I know you're going to know what I'm talking about, because Ryan had like 7 Dans or whatever, right? No last name, just 7 Dans.
Dude, you in my phone, I have like 4 Raphaels, and then I have like 3 juniors. And then I'm like, but every one I hit, it still calls you.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a lot, dude. Yeah, it's so much.
It's a lot of work, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Because you have to hit like 4 buttons for like one contact on the phone. It's like, why can't there just be one button and it just, dude, it's 2020 and it's an iPhone. Why can't it just know what I'm trying to do?
Right.
But yeah, dude, it's time consuming. You said it took you like 3 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
But
how long did it take you?
I'm almost done.
You're almost done.
I'm almost done. I made it to the T's. So I have a couple more, but
yeah.
Well, I wasn't doing it all day. I spent a couple hours on it, maybe 2-3 days or whatever.
Yeah.
But at first I didn't know what the hell to do. I had you want to tell them one contact I had on my phone?
Yeah, go ahead, tell them.
I had a contact,
which I know. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm not going to.
So the first night, this guy wanted me to go through all my contacts to fix every single one of them. I was in the B's, so that's how you know it was the first night. I'm scrolling through, and there's a contact, first name, only the first name. That there was nothing else in it. It says Biscuit 09. Like it had a full number. It had like nine numbers. And it just said Biscuit like 039-457-8654.
No area code, no local area code though. It was like 202 or something like that.
Yeah, and I screenshot it and sent it to him. And yeah, it didn't have a phone. Okay, so obviously somebody I met's name was Biscuit. And I tried putting the phone number in the first name. You know how like iPhones, you'll have first name, middle name, last name, business, and then like notes, email. The only thing that was filled out was the first name, and it was Biscuit, and then the phone number on there.
Yeah.
Like, There was random shit in my phone. And it wasn't just like that. There was other ones where it was just numbers. I had only emails. There were some that were like all capital because like when we were doing a certain type of list at one point, I was importing them, and it just so happened it went into my phone when we were putting them in the CRM because everything is connected together. So, yeah, that's how my contacts are going. And I have, it was like, well, it was 1,000, but then when we synced it, so that must mean I had 400 doubles or something in my phone, right?
Probably.
So unorganized.
Very. But now your life's going to change. And now our life's going to change. All thanks to Keller Williams Real Estate and Command. So anyways, so we have this new platform that we're trying to push. Hold on. Before we go any further, I am almost positive that when you input Biscuit's name and number, you were drunk as AF. When you were having a great time, whatever you were doing.
When you told me that, I'm like, that makes total sense. I didn't think nothing about it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the phone, because there were so many phone numbers in there, and like emails and the lists and stuff like that. I just didn't think anything. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe some weird like something just happened. But then when I re-looked at it the next day when you told me about it, I'm like, holy shit, dude. I tried putting a phone number in, and then who the hell told me the guy's name was Biscuit or girl? Maybe I was talking to a girl, her name was Biscuit. I must have been like super wasted, dude.
Yeah. Good times. Now, this is the same contact list that you've had since, what, high school, you think?
Well, Apple, I've had an iPhone since, I think when I didn't have an Apple in high school, so I don't know, maybe, 7 years, maybe 8 years, something like that. Yeah, because it's all cloud, so every phone I've had, it just
syncs.
Yeah, when I back up, it syncs. So yeah.
So now we're gonna be well organized. We're gonna know who's calling, which Dan is calling, and
tell them the truth, man.
What?
We're also gonna be sending some emails, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be sending you guys a lot of emails. We're gonna be sending a lot of videos. We're gonna change it up in 2020. We're gonna not only have this podcast, which I thought was a great start to our promotion and the Ralphie and Ryan show, but now we're gonna branch out. We have actually a lot of blogs that we wrote years ago, right? How long ago?
Before we had our license.
Yeah. So we're gonna bring some of those back. And
what are some of them?
Great info stuff. A lot of the stuff that we were working on at the time. A lot of probate stuff. A lot of property taxes and
tax delinquent properties. There's some like reverse mortgage information. Yeah, and then 2020 also not only want to provide data, but also best towns to live in, best value towns, and then also even look into the best school systems and not just ratings, but actually like digging deep in, right?
School systems that are going through a transition. I think here's a great segue. I think Bolingbrook is underrated. I think Bolingbrook has they've invested a lot of money, and they have, let's say, for example, the library. It's a freaking awesome library. Yeah, like it's serious. They have a lot of stuff to help a lot of children out. Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
That's the thing, though. So us, what would you call us? Bolingbrokians, us natives. Yeah. We take that stuff for granted, dude. Because dude, don't get me wrong. Like, I've been to the Bolingbrook Library when I was younger. I lived in Bolingbrook. Yeah. For a very long time growing up. And it is nowhere near what it is today. Right. But, when they built it, I was wowed, but I just got used to it because I would go there all the time, and I'd go in there, and record and use the computers and stuff like that. I've never been to another library besides those two.
Right.
So just knowing that, I was like, oh, okay, all right. So all these new build libraries are probably like this. But then when I brought you there, you were like, oh my God, you were so amazed by it. And then when we started doing like meetings at other libraries, like what was that, Westmont? Nothing wrong with Westmont. They're great there. They're awesome. But it doesn't have what the Bolingbrook Library has to offer.
I'll say it. It's no Bolingbrook. Right? No Bolingbrook Library. Or what? It's not even Bolingbrook Library. What is it?
Fountaindale Public Library.
Fountaindale Public Library.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And so the reason why...
And it's beautiful. It's big.
It's
I have
huge.
a shot of it on my Instagram. And they shared it.
It's huge. And I think that that is a selling point.
There's a lot of selling points about Bolingbrook.
And a lot of other towns. Not just Bolingbrook, but I mean, since we're talking about Bolingbrook right now.
Yeah, so I want to do a video of what Bolingbrook has to offer versus like other cities. Not just Will County, but Chicagoland as a whole.
Yes.
Because there's a lot.
Yeah, so I think being involved in the community is something that we're definitely going to be working on to see what events are being held in the DuPage area, Will area, Kane, and who is doing the most for their residents. And at the end of the day, it's looking for a great town that you're comfortable in and is a great value and has great amenities, pretty much, right? I mean, that's what everybody's looking for, especially now that we are choosing to stay at home longer, or hoping to.
Yeah. So what are you going to start with, Beeville?
I'm going to start with, there's a couple of cities that I'm super excited about actually around me. Obviously, Bensenville, because, I'm from Bensenville. I know another little town that I think is great is Itasca. I think Itasca.
You always talk about Itasca.
Itasca's beautiful, man. I love Itasca.
What do they have besides the parks?
I love I just love the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I love their lots. I think they have great parks or forest preserves, whatever you want to call it.
Oh my God, you remember that?
Yeah. And I think they also have great events. I think another thing that...
Did you just go to one?
Yeah, they have a bunch of them.
How far is Itasca from you?
Oh, it's 10 minutes away. It's the next town over.
Next to Wooddale?
Next to Wooddale, right. And Wooddale is another great one. But Itasca, I think, not that it's underrated. I don't think it gets the right publicity. It's a small town, not tiny, but it's a smaller town. Nice homes, good school systems, and it's just somewhere that I would like to live in. It's a town that I think needs a spotlight. And
so you definitely buy a rental property there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Another thing that people don't consider is even like their community events, right? Like I don't know what Bolingbrook has, but Bensenville has music in the park.
How often?
It's once a week for.
Once a week? Oh, is it like a season?
Yeah, it's. I think it's Wednesday nights during the summer, and I think it's like 8 weeks every Wednesday, I think it is. And it's a huge event where a lot of the locals go out and sit and listen to some music, and then local businesses, restaurants have little stands and they can help promote their business. I just think overall having unite the community in the downtown or the town center is important. I think it builds community, and it's what we need. It's what everybody needs. But I didn't really, when I was a kid, I never really did any of that stuff. But it's some of the stuff that I'd like to do now, to be engaged in the community, so my son could also benefit from some of the community events. Because we're all paying for it. It's coming out of your taxes. Might as well take advantage of it.
Well, the Bensenville one. not Itasca's.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, Ryan, but that Foundale Library, you pay for it, bro.
No. I know that. Yeah. I know that.
Yeah. But, but so anyways, 2020, I'm talking a lot, but 2020, we're gonna spotlight all these great little towns, all these great events. We have some awesome stuff in the pipeline. We have forest preserves that you should attend for picnics, family events, towns that have, we talk about the Naperville Rib Fest, which is a huge event in DuPage that happens once a year. And there's a lot of other, even for adults, wine. Itasca has it's like a wine at the park or something like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Do they have a wine and painting?
I don't know, but
painting in the park.
Yeah, painting the stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's and
no, it's good. I think phone going off.
Yeah.
No, I think it's good. I mean, we did some. I guess you could call it local vlogs, but we didn't really get like deep into the hometown, man. Yeah, I think we need to start there. There's so much stuff.
There is a lot of stuff.
There's so much stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna try our very best. Yeah.
Yeah. So 2020, we're gonna start doing local, and then we can get the local businesses when they come up there on the podcast.
Yeah. So we have some local businesses set up to come on the podcast here in the next couple of weeks. So we're excited to hear their stories, because here's another thing that I wanted to mention before we end this podcast is the podcasts are great, and it's nice to meet other people, right? But I feel like the benefit is a lot. I benefit from it a lot. I feel like I get something out of every single podcast and every story that I hear. I think there's something special about everybody, and I think everybody has something to share. So I'm excited to see what great and inspirational story we hear, and what kind of great future podcasts we're gonna have.
Yeah, dude, it all goes back to so when I messed up the audio, right?
Yeah.
I was down in the dumps,
mm-hmm.
and I was, because you were like, oh man, this guy's, I was all negative, and I was upset. I was disappointed in myself, but
that makes sense.
I got out of it pretty quick, because you're my boy, dog. You were there, and you gave me a little talk and stuff, and got out the rut, and we moved on. The reason I brought that up is because some people don't have that, right? They're trying to do it on their own, or they're not trying to do shit, but they're still on their own, and they don't have that other person to help them out of that situation or whatever. But the reason I brought that up is because what's so great about the podcast is because it could just be both me and you, right? Like, we could just be sitting here and both messing up, which we do, right?
Yeah.
And then if we're both in a bad mood, we're screwed or whatever. And to be honest, we don't know what the hell we're doing. We have a path and we have a goal, and we're working, and I think we're pretty productive or whatever, but there's times where we feel that we're not productive, or we're not really sure if we're gonna reach our goals, and if it's the right path. But listening to not even people that are just starting, or people that are in the middle, or people that have made it there, everyone's destination's different, everyone's destination's different, the journey's different, but the destination is the same. And hearing it from other people and how they got there differently definitely benefits us, because we could either relate, or we could learn from what they have done and try to put it in our life. And just 18 podcasts or whatever, it's like, we thought we had it better, we thought we had it hard, or like, who knows how Sunday's going to go? They're two brothers. Like, we never had, well, PK has a business partner. But like, you know, like, I'm sure we're going to benefit from two brothers, dude. Like,
right.
They're not like business partners. Like, they grew up together, and, you know, I'm sure their story is going to be somewhat similar to ours, and we just benefit from it, dude.
Yeah.
Podcast it's a little stressful at times, especially when you don't hit record.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, Ryan, because the last podcast where the audio messed up, which is Ken Nunez, right? After listening to his story, how could you even bitch about, you know, not hitting the I mean, yes, you're upset about it, right? But like, there's worse things in life.
Yeah. I mean, look what he had to go through. That's the whole reason why. Okay, so like that podcast, to be honest, bro, I didn't think it was going to go like that. I thought he was just going to talk about, you know, his weightlifting career, and I knew that his bio said that he was sober. I thought it was, I just didn't think anything of it. And what made it so great is that I didn't know it, and it like wowed me, and that's my excuse right there. I was just so into the conversation, I didn't even think about it recording. Yeah. There it goes. But no, yeah, dude, I was just like so into the story, and I was just listening to him, dude. And when I didn't hit the record, I was just like, holy fuck, dude, this guy really just. First is he's never been on a podcast. He's never been on a podcast. Not once. And his videos on Instagram are just him weightlifting. And he told us that he suffered with, you know, anxiety and stuff like that. So with all of that hovering over it, I'm like, sweet. His first experience just got fucked up because of me. And then the first thing he said is, you got another hour to record? And I'm like, oh, man, dude, that is not a fucking podcast you can pretend, because that was just like, for real, dude. It was like, when I was sitting there, I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now, you know? And I'm like, it was like, I don't know how to explain it, dude, but it was like, it made me feel good because he was comfortable enough to tell us that was a dark spot, dude. And people that have been there, bro, don't even tell family members in person. Yeah. And he told two strangers.
Right.
He felt comfortable enough to come here out of his way to tell us that. And yeah, dude, I just felt like shit. I felt like I dropped the ball on that one. Yeah. And I wasn't prepared for it. But like you said, dude, the way I could look at it is like, what would Ken Nunez do if he was doing a podcast and hit the record button? You know what I'm saying? He would just be like, all right, you know, fuck it, just move on, because he's been in a shittier spot than not hitting fucking record. Yeah.
So one of the things that I remember, one, I think that it was a great podcast too. The Ken Nunez was a great podcast. He mentioned that he had some anxiety, but he said that he considered it an advantage. It's like he considered his weakness actually an advantage, because he thinks that he kept him on his toes. Yeah. So the fact that we're worried about audio now might keep us on our toes, you know, like just have the best podcast that we possibly can. And at the end of the day, nobody's watching anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it matters to us because we're trying our very best in every single thing that we're doing. But yeah, I think 2020 is going to be a great year. I hope to bring on a lot of guests. If you guys are interested in sitting down and maybe having a good conversation where we can exchange ideas, you know, we welcome everybody because I want to hear everyone's story. And most importantly, I want to create a community because I really do care about people. And the only way that you are able to get what you want is helping others get what they want. So I want to help as many people as possible, and we're gonna try to do that. You know, with real estate, with investing. It's one of the greatest things about real estate is that it's so versatile, and it's everyone can benefit from real estate, no matter where you're at in life. You can benefit from real estate. If you're not an owner, you can be a renter. There's multiple ways to benefit from it. So yeah, we're gonna definitely bring you guys value that way.
So we're closing out.
Yeah. So in 2020, we're gonna bring you guys a lot of value, a lot of.
So what do they say? So just going back on what you said, that you truly care about people. What's that quote? If one wins, we all win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2020, it's gonna be a lot of good content. We're gonna get so the podcast. A lot of people don't really like understand what the podcast is about. So like when we talk to people that we get onto the podcast, you say it, I say it, like we say it's not about us, it's about them, right? We are trying to spread awareness of local businesses, small businesses, to spread the word on what the community has to offer to people. Not just real estate. We've had realtors on here, but we've also had, Bobby, that he's, an actor, up and coming actor. PK lends out funds for small businesses that try to start up businesses. There's a lot of stuff that we're trying to put out there that can benefit you guys. That's not just real estate related. It's more like lifestyle, right? And then aside from the podcast, I have a video that I'm working on that's going to be good. It's good information. It's kind of boring, but I'm going to try to make it somewhat entertaining. It's about the new FICO score change. It's pretty much written already. I just need to hit the record button, which I'm not really good at, obviously. And then Ralphie has an amazing video coming out. If he could get the damn website done.
Yeah, I gotta get the website done. But
what video is it called? What's it called, man?
There's a lot of them, but the one that I'm gonna be working on.
Well, yeah, no, we have a lot of videos. Yeah. But what's the first one? Can you give him a teaser, man? Just a little bit. You don't even have to say the full. You don't even have to say the full title.
No, they're gonna have to wait. They're gonna have to wait. It's gonna be so good. They're gonna have to wait. Yeah.
You're gonna do that to them, man?
It's gonna be a banger.
A banger?
Mm-hmm.
They're all bangers.
Yeah. But yeah, that's good, man. That I really enjoy the fact that that we are trying to give awareness to some of these. One of the things that's most important is to realize that. And the reason that I'm saying this is because I feel that a lot of people nowadays believe that their situation is different than others. And that is true because everyone has their own life and there is certain stuff that is different. But I think when you're feeling terrible, when shit's not going right, you feel like it's your life that's going terrible. And sometimes you question why stuff is happening to you. The truth is that a lot of people are going through stuff, and I think that sharing your vulnerability, sharing the difficulties that you've gone through and how you have overcome them is inspiring. And it doesn't need to come from Jim Carrey or Denzel Washington for it to matter. You know? It could happen. I think we always think about people that are famous or on TV as someone that is special, that is somewhat unhuman like, right? This person that has some special talent, and then when you meet a regular folk,
those are the best ones.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah. There's something about, like, I don't know, just everybody that's been on the podcast, like, when they're done with it, they're like, oh yeah, this was awesome, this is a great experience and stuff like that. And it's even better when, like, you post it or, like, you send them the little clips and stuff like that. There's just nothing like it, like, just like reactions and stuff like that. I think it's like truly genuine. Like, I really do want to help people out. And then you also have like a certain type of not that I look at anybody differently or anything like that, but when you start like really understanding a person and like really, really like having a real conversation and not just like blowing somebody off or whatever, and you understand like what they're going through, but like people in like business and stuff like that, because of what we go through and you know how many freaking obstacles that we've had to go through, or you know sometimes where it feels like it's never gonna happen, or like you're like, oh my god, like you don't see the destination anymore, but then it's like you have somebody in front of you and they tell you, you know, their story and it's like a lot worse and they still hung in there, and then they didn't have a business partner or whatever, and they didn't have any money, and it's like, holy shit. Then it's like, damn. Then you start like, you know, it makes you feel like you're it gets you back into the right mind state. But it's like there's like really people out there that if they haven't made it yet, they're really trying to make it, you know. Those are the type of people that I want to surround myself around, and I want to help them any way possible. And you know, we might not have the best podcast because we might not record it sometimes for you. But when it does record, or when I don't scream in the microphone, you know, we'll try our best to make you look the best you possibly can. And we are super busy, but we are behind the computers when we're not doing real estate to try to market, not us, but fuck, dude, we market a lot of other people more than we do us, dude.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's totally cool because dude, before we were doing this, I was doing giveaways, dude. I truly do want to help other people, bro, because it may sound selfish, but my happiness, dude, or like my joy comes from other people. I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if other people feel that way. And that might sound selfish. A lot of people might call that selfish, dude. But it is what it is. It's the way I work. And like, here's for instance, when I didn't record for Ken Nunez and you were upset, I was more upset because you were upset, not because I didn't hit the record button. Is that bad? Is that a bad thing?
No, that's good, dude. That's good. It's accountable. I mean, I feel the exact same way too. If I'm like, God damn, like I'm not just hurting myself, but I'm also hurting my business partner. That makes sense.
Yeah. And you know what? To be honest, I think that's might not be seeing it now, dude. And I'm not saying I'm doing this. I'm not just, you know, trying to benefit from other people or whatever, because I think at the end of the day, if we don't make it, dude, I think what we're doing is the right thing. So if we can, obviously our podcast is not gonna make that one business owner successful, because everybody that we talk to is obviously on the grind, on the struggle, and 1-2 hour podcast and 5, 6, 7 clips that we cut up for them is not gonna, you know, they're hustlers, they're out there grinding. But if at the end of the day we could build real relationships with people that are in the community, like a long-term relationship, dude. I have somewhat of a relationship with Ricardo. You know, like I've been to his store in Chicago multiple times now. And you know, he's made me a jacket. There's people that we talk to. Josh Engels got us other people on the podcast. It's amazing what other people can do for you, dude. And we're just starting off, and I think it's gonna bring opportunities for not only us but other people as well.
Dude, that is awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So you wanna close it out here, Ryan?
Thank you guys for staying for the Ralphie and Ryan show.
We had no topics here today, man.
I don't like topics.
Yeah, we just wasted an hour of you guys' time.
No, it doesn't. You know what, dude? It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I think the no topics is good and bad. You know, we rambled on and stuff like that. Maybe it was bumpy in the beginning. I don't know. We always think it's shitty. Yeah. Every time we're like, dude, this is shit. And then you go into editing it or whatever. Yeah, dude, this one's real good. This one's real good. Yeah. And even if the whole thing's not good, they're not going to watch the whole thing. And I know we talked about a couple of good sections that I want on our channel or whatever.
Yeah.
So this was also a practice run. It's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, dude. We're trying to get set up for a 4-person podcast that we've never done.
Yeah.
You want me to? This is the first podcast that after I didn't record. Now you want me to do 4 people?
Well, let me tell you guys the fact that here's I probably should have started with this, but the fact that Ryan has messed up twice in audio.
By the way, I've messed up other shit. That's just not the audio, by the way. But anyways.
Yeah, we all have. But, dude, how much have you learned from your
Oh
two
my
fuck-ups?
God, dude. I can repair some shit audio. Well, the people that probably watch the ones where I didn't record are like, yeah, dude, that shit sucked, dude. You guys don't know how hard... Well, there's probably some people out there. It's hard to mess with audio.
It's very hard.
It's very hard. It's so hard.
Yeah.
And it makes it even more hard when you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
And when you're not an audio person or a podcaster. But you know what? You can't be perfect at everything. And it's good that it happened. And whether it happened in the beginning or it happened a couple years from now, it doesn't matter because... or if it never happened, it don't matter. It's something that came in our path, and now I know a little bit about audio. I'm not the best. I'm still not happy with our audio. It could be 100 times better, but yeah. I mean, if it wasn't audio, if it was the cameras, then we'd probably be better at recording. Maybe get a nicer camera because they won't shut off. It doesn't matter. Whatever comes our way, we just
push through it.
Yeah, we just. That video talks about how you want to fail fast, right? So, are we failing fast?
Maybe not. Maybe not failing fast enough. Maybe.
Yeah, I just think it's like it's just a saying.
Yeah, but it's
just trying to make you feel better.
Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. The fact that we're continuously just trying new stuff is good.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this one recorded. Hope you guys...
I think we should do a giveaway because this one, I mean, we're at the very end here.
Ain't nobody going to watch this one, bro.
Well, we'll see.
All right, well, I did the last giveaway. It's your turn to do a damn giveaway.
Guys, if you guys just so happen to have wasted an hour...
It ain't wasted, man.
An hour of your life with us, you deserve some AirPods. So if you're on Facebook, head over to YouTube, and before you click on this podcast, make sure you subscribe, and then go into this podcast, go and comment the time that you watch this, and ask me to send you free AirPods. And if you don't believe me that we're going to send you AirPods, we just gave out AirPods to another one of our listeners, maybe 5 podcasts?
Yeah, we shipped them all the way to Cali, and he came out here and visited us. That is I don't want to say it, dude, but I think he might win 2 AirPods, bro.
You think so?
No, there was other people that watched it because then they were putting them in the comments, bro. Yeah. You got to be the first one.
You got to be quick to it. So if you're on Facebook...
See, and that's another reason to hit the bell so you guys know when that comes up.
Notification. So if you guys are on Facebook, head over into YouTube, go into the comments, tell me to send you your free AirPods, and you're going to get free AirPods for listening to this podcast. Again, thank you guys for listening. And we hope to bring you some great content that would actually benefit you guys in the year 2020, especially for those of you guys that are around the Chicagoland area and, in the western suburbs, primarily where we're going to be focusing on. Now, we have some actually other vlogs that are coming out that are related to Chicago, but we're going to focus a lot of our attention here in the next couple of months at DuPage. Anything else?
Thanks for watching, guys.
Hey,
hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button, and congratulations to the person that won the AirPods. You're amazing. You deserve the AirPods for listening to all this shit.
The noise canceling ones.
Yeah.
No, not the noise canceling ones. Those are expensive.
All right, guys. This has been a podcast number 18.
18
of the Ralphie and Ryan Show. I am your host, Rafael Velasco, sitting in with my co-host, the internet sensation, Mr. Ryan Reynolds, signing off.
See ya.